So I was just messing with ChatGPT, and I just found out that you can actually use it pretty effectively right now to help you make listings, but it's only going to get way better from here on out. And I don't like making listings, and hopefully within the next 12 months, it's going to improve so much that it helps all of us with making listings. But before we get into that, I want to show you guys something. We actually just bought some little baby chicks, and we're going to grow them into full-blown chickens, and hopefully they will start making us some eggs, and our dogs love these things. But anyways, I'm going to get on the computer and show you guys sort of what I figured out with it so far, where we're at with ChatGPT, because I do think that within the next 12 months, this is going to get substantially better to where you can actually make listings probably 2 times faster than we currently can on eBay with what we currently have to use. So let's hop into this. All right, so here we're on the ChatGPT page, and I'm just going to go through sort of what I've done so far with this. By the way, this is ChatGPT 4. If you're unfamiliar with ChatGPT, you have the normal ChatGPT, which is currently free. It's ChatGPT 3.5 if you look here in the top left corner. If you pay $20 a month, which I experimented with, I'm probably going to cancel this membership until this gets a little bit better, because as of right now, it's not super helpful. It's about the same speed for listings, but it is going to get quicker and it's going to get better. And I'll give you my thoughts on that towards the end of the video on how this is going to improve, I think. But ChatGPT 4, what you get for 20 bucks a month is you get the ability to upload and pull out images from ChatGPT 4. So if you're familiar with, let's say, what's the program? Google, whenever you go to Google and you do the image, and you can upload an image to Google and it sort of analyzes it and tells you, it'll like pull up links of other things that are like that item or that exact item. This is way different, but the same premise of what it is. So you can actually upload images into ChatGPT 4 and you can tell it to do things based off of the image that you're uploading. So whenever I first got this, I pulled this up and I first started off, I have images on my other screen here that you can't see that are listings that need to be made. But the first thing that I tried was I tried dragging and dropping over like however many photos I had for that one image. So I uploaded all 8, for this example, 8 photos here into ChatGPT 4 and then asked it to make a title. So I said, make an eBay title. And for reference, the first time I did this, I wrote out a whole paragraph of what I wanted and stuff like that. As I experimented with it, I realized I didn't need to do that, because this program already knows the amount of keywords or how many characters you can have in the title and stuff like that. They're familiar. It's already familiar with eBay. It knows what it needs to do. So if you see, all I'm going to say is make an eBay title for this item. So this is going to be one of the downsides currently with ChatGPT, which if you've been using ChatGPT for other things, you know that this will get better. Currently with ChatGPT 4, it's in beta. It takes a long time compared to the ChatGPT 3.5 to give you a response based off of your input. So I just inputted that and it's still loading here. In the future, I hope that this becomes way quicker, and I know that it will get quicker, but as of right now, it's slow. But if you see here, it just spat out this title of Free Fly Men's Medium Performance Bamboo Polo Shirt and Heather Teal. It just nailed everything absolutely perfectly off of those images. And all I did was ask to make a title. And so the downside again is that this takes a long time. There's another downside currently with this. By the way, this is in beta, ChatGPT 4.0. I don't know if I mentioned that, but this is currently in beta. It's just being tested. So since it is being tested, they have limited the amount that people can input per hour and also the amount of photos you can input at one time. So whenever I just dragged and dropped those over, it only allows up to 10 photos at a time per question you're asking it, as well as you can only ask 40 questions within 3 hours. So from my understanding, the first time you put something in here, a 3-hour timer starts at the end, and you get 40 questions you can ask ChatGPT 4.0. And then once the 3-hour timer is over, you can do another 40, and so on and so forth. In the future, that's going to be removed. I know it will. The limitation will be removed. What I'm curious about is if the 10 image thing will be removed to where you can upload 100 images or 200 images or unlimited images at one time, because that would be absolutely game changing. And I'll show you why. Now we're going to pull over 3 different items at one time and see what happens. So I did this a few times beforehand. By the way, sorry for that cut. My wife Kendall walked in. She just got home from thrifting, found some good stuff. But anyway, so I'm going to pull over these 3 other items, but I'm only going to bring over a few items or a few pictures off of each item and see if this thing can determine that there's 3 different items without telling it and create the titles for all 3 of those in one message. So we're going to go the same thing, create eBay titles for the items here. So I didn't tell it how many items I just uploaded. I have multiple pictures per item. I've got either 2 to 3 photos per item. I'm doing 3 items, and we're gonna see if it can create 3 different titles correctly, which is a big thing. Like sometimes this thing's a little squirrely and it will mess up a size or something like that in the title. So you just gotta look over it a little bit. But I assume down the road in the future, this is gonna get so good that it really has no flaws or minimal flaws, basically human error flaws that would happen. So let's go through this and see what happens. So we've got men's XL David Donahue checkered button up casual dress shirt in gray/black. All right, let's go here. So we've got XL, we've got David Donahue, check plaid, gray and black, and then this other color that I don't really even know what you would call that. It's like a brownish color, but it nailed that one perfectly. Okay, next one, Ariat Pro Series, large, I'd change that to actually say large or just L or whatever, but striped performance, button-down shirt in blue/white. And this in blue/white, I probably would just change that to blue space white, but in the future, but again, this is ChatGPT. You can put it in here and have it change. I'll probably try that and show you guys. You can have it, set it up. You could put in a format of a title structure you want, and it will format it in that way. So did it get this one right? Ariat Pro Series large, striped blue-white, cotton. I think it nailed it. Yeah, it nailed it. Perfect. Cricket, Austin, Texas. The Austin, Texas probably doesn't need to be in there, but that's okay because that's in the tag. It probably thinks that that's just the brand. Cricket. Oh, it just read this. It's because it's new with tags. If the new with tag thing wasn't there, it probably would be okay, but it's still really good. Cricket, Austin, Texas, large, Pima cotton, striped shirt, or short sleeve polo shirt in white/navy. So that is pretty impressive. Honestly, the ones that I did earlier were a little bit better crafted than that was. But it's still really impressive. So my thought is that in the future down the road, if they remove all the restrictions to how many you can list, I think and you could do 8 photos at a time for one listing and just rip everything over. It's going to be pretty impressive to be able to just move, let's say 200 photos of listings you have pictured and have it just spit out, those, whatever that'd be, 20-ish items, 20 to 30 items, creating all the titles right off the rip. And then you could just upload all those titles into eBay and then drag and drop your photos over, and it already fills in most of the keywords throughout the listings. And I'll give you an example here. So let's say we're going to use this David Donahue one, right? And I'll go back to this and sort of try to change some of the keywords and experiment with it live here and see if it does it perfectly or not, and sort of see its flaws and where it's at. But this is, so there's 2 real ways or 3 real ways to make listings. You have sell similar off of other people's listings. These are like the most 3 common ways I know of. Sell similar off of other people's listings that are on eBay. The next one would be to sell similar off of your own listings. If you're a large enough store, you can go to your own store because you're selling similar items. And, like you're selling a lot of Peter Millar's, you could just go to your listings and it's quicker than searching someone else's. Or you could go to listings here and just create it from scratch. And I think this is going to be very helpful, this ChatGPT thing with the creating it from scratch. So if I go here and create a listing and I want to just copy and paste that over, and I said I was going to delete that, right? So copy and paste this title over. Then we get all of these keywords already filled in. Plaid is the pattern, good to go, ready, pre-owned, done. And now it's really just copying and pasting over and filling in all the stuff that you typically fill in a listing, right? So you've got your SKU that you do. I always copy and paste this title. That's fine. XL, gray change to multicolor, dress shirt, plaid, button down. I usually don't mess with any of this stuff. You can click these that are part of your item. I've got macros for this, all this stuff, quick and easy to make. I'm going to list this at 2287. That's usually what I list these better pattern ones at. Macro for the weight, and the listing's done. Okay, that was pretty quick. Now what you could even do farther than that, which I'll mess with after I show you these keyword changes, but if this works, I was messing with it and doing 3 listings at a time. So I'd have 3 different pages open, and I would just be pulling everything over at one time, and it made it super quick and easy. Now that gets a little complicated, but the point is that that's pretty impressive that it made that title and it was able to fill in those keywords that mattered, and the whole listing is basically made that way. I mean, that took no time at all to make that listing compared to having to search up a similar item. Now, this only works really if you know what you're going to price your item at, right? Because if you don't know what you're going to price your item at, you're going to have to look up comps anyways. You're going to have to figure out, where the market's at on those things. But I would say probably half the things to 75% of the things that we list, we already know right out the gate what we're going to list it at. And that just comes with time and experience. You just know what, things typically sell for. And so 50 to 75% of our listings, we could just do it like this down the road. Hopefully within 12 months from now, this is like I was saying, you just upload everything and go off of that, because that would speed up everything. But let's mess with this for a second and see if we can change this to where we want a title structure. See, titles, keywords, and structure to, in parentheses or in quotations, we're going to do brand. I'm going to put commas so it knows separation between the things, but at the end I'm going to say leave commas out. So brand, and then we're doing the category, men's, or I guess we'll go, it's not going to know gender though, that's the thing. So we're just going to put men's here because we sell mostly men's clothes. That's basically everything we'd be uploading. Men's, we're going to go size, and then what else do we have? We're going to go color, pattern, and then anything else. Anything else important you might see. And then close, and then we're going to go do not add the commas into the title. Leave them out. All right. Change the title, keywords, and structure to brand. Do this for the most recent response. All right, let's see if that does anything. We'll see if this does anything. But it's just interesting. I mean, if this actually becomes a thing, it's almost like you have a VA, you're having help by having a VA in quotations, because there's still work that has to be done, but it's much more simple than doing everything, yourself. All right, so here we go. We've got, it changed up a little bit. It looks much better. These titles look much more clean. So David Honu, casual dress shirt, men's XL, gray, black, checkered, 100% cotton. That's a beautiful title. I would keep that. That's better than the first one. Ariat Pro Series, button-down shirt, men's LG. The only thing about that is I'd remove the L/G and change it to large, or just put an L. And then blue, white, striped performance. Great. Cricket Polo, so it got rid of the Austin, Texas, and moved it towards the end of the title, which, by the way, if that wasn't new with tags, that wouldn't even be in the title, but it's just picking that up. So Cricket Polo shirt, men's, large, white, navy stripe, Pima cotton, short sleeve, Austin, Texas. Pulled the short sleeve in there. I didn't even ask for that. It's just a keyword that I said put extra stuff in there. That's important. It put that in there. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. I think this is incredible that you can upload these images and then it spits out these titles perfectly almost every single time. And again, there are some things that it will miss throughout doing this, like it will maybe put XLT or something like that instead of XL, but it's still really good for being in beta. This is really impressive. I don't know what to say. I found this out last week and started messing with it, and I really do think that within the next 12 months, resellers that are selling on eBay are going to start maybe incorporating this, if not already, start incorporating this into their listing process to hopefully, shave a little bit of time off of creating listings. I'm going to make one comment because I know someone's probably thinking this watching this video, which is, isn't it just as quick to just type the keywords in yourself and make that same title structure yourself than plug in these things 3 at a time? Yes, it is. It is much quicker just to hand type the David Donahue casual dress shirt, blah, 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 and do that than to upload these photos, copy and paste the title and all that. The point is that this is going to get much better, and I think we'll get to the point where we can just rip all the photos over to ChatGPT and then it spit out all of these titles, which that will be much quicker than having to open up the photos one by one, look at the details of the photos, whether it's the size, the material, stuff like that, just to build a title structure or the patterns. If you got to zoom in on the patterns and stuff, just to build the title structure. Instead, you'll be able to just push all these photos over, and then it push back all the titles, and then you just move those titles over to eBay. So wanted to make that note because I know someone's going to be out there making a comment saying it's much quicker to just make the titles. Yeah, I know it is right now, but this is a video about this is going to get much better. It's going to get significantly better, and AI is going to start playing a much bigger role in how we do our businesses day to day. All right, yeah, so I just want to make a quick video going over this thing that I found. I think it's really impressive what ChatGPT has already accomplished and what they're probably going to accomplish, and all the things that AI is going to help us as resellers and just in general help with. Let me know in the comments if this is interesting to you, if you think that that's pretty cool that you can upload these photos already in today's world and have it spit out titles, because I know Google doesn't have that option with their image tracking stuff, and I don't know of any other programs that do that are that accurate. And then let me know what you guys think is going to happen in the future. Do you think that we'll be able to one day integrate this straight into eBay? Because that could be a possibility, that this is able to reach the eBay platform and actually make the entire listing for us, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. It might be to where we can just pull all the images over, and then eBay's thing is just making the titles for us. I don't know. Maybe it's closed API and they don't ever want, bot-ish things or AI going in and doing that. But you never know how things change over the years. And I think that this is going to be a huge help down the road with not only eBay, but a ton of other business. So again, leave in the comments, let me know what you think about it. If you like this video, and subscribe if you like eBay reselling content, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.